focus on him first. Good evening, everyone, and we'd like to welcome you to another segment of AAU Teen Talk with the Building Bricks program. Building Bricks is a youth and young adult development core program facilitated by beautiful men and women. And I am your host, Herman Dunham Jr., with my main man,
William T. Fortwide. So we would like to welcome you today to another segment of the Bricks program on AAU Teen Talk TV. Today we have two very special guests, two very, very special guests from Beautiful Men and Women executive team. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Dana Jackson, and I'm the COO of Beautiful Men and Women.
How you doing? I'm Stephen Mans Jr. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and Media Strategist for Beautiful Men and Women.
Okay, so like the first thing we're going to do, because we were just kind of joking around and because we all know each other, and it's a phenomenal thing to be able to utilize the relationships, how much work Beautiful Men and Women has actually put into the Bricks program. We want to just kind of give you a little bit more insight on what the Bricks program is. Of course, it's a youth and young adult development program geared towards young men ages 16 to 26. And it deals with personal development, hard and soft skills, leadership, and pretty much kind of repositioning them for life in general. It's also a program that's geared towards single mothers raising sons. Young men between the ages of 8, let's just say 26. Phenomenal program to kind of help single mothers gear their household structure and different things that they can do inside the home to help raise a responsible young men. And then it's also geared towards mentors and or responsible role models for the individuals that are just in the neighborhood, in the community, or within the family, to just kind of gather around the young man and give them more support. And it's all basically from the same structure. So BRICS is the acronym for brotherhood, relationships, integrity, character, knowledge, and synergy. And it's really, really a pleasure for me to be here with you guys today to do this synergistic interview. And I guess we're going to kind of jump right in, being you guys are doing a lot of behind the scenes work with the Building Bricks program. So Dana, you want to tell us a little bit about Beautiful Men and Women and what you guys are doing?
Sure. To describe Beautiful Men and Women, I kind of describe it as a marriage. So it's a marriage of two very successful business entities. We have our professional development consulting firm, and that's one sector of it that kind of houses a lot of the programs and other holistic programs that we provide for the community. And then we have what I like to call the fun part, our Diamond Life Entertainment part. That kind of deals more with our networking events and social events. So the merging of the two successful companies really opens up a large, diverse service for lots of men and women in our community.
Beautiful. That sounds great. So what are some of the projects you guys are working on?
Oh, I'm so excited. We have a couple of projects that are coming down the pike. One that's kind of near and dear to my heart is our Pros Coaching Pros consulting firm. So that firm is actually, it enables people that are looking for a way to kind of maximize their business, whether they're a novice or they're just trying to figure out and have an idea and don't know what to do, or if they're a seasoned professional and they've kind of hit a plateau in their business and they're finding a way to want to maximize profits. It's myself and 4 other experts. We kind of lend our advice and our knowledge in different sectors of business that are really crucial and important to those that are soliciting for our services. So I'm really excited to get that off the ground and running. Another thing that we're working on is we plan on opening a meetup group that focuses on the 7 habits of highly effective people. And within our organization, the 7 habits is really the core of how we operate. So getting the opportunity to share that with other individuals and interact in a synergistic way, as you had mentioned, is great, and is something that we want to spread to some of the libraries throughout New York City. Finally, we always continually are working on public speaking training as well as personal development. It's just ongoing in our mission. So those are just some interesting things down the pike.
Okay. Wow.
I need some help with public speaking.
So Steve, I know keeping up with Dana is kind of difficult, man, especially with her just running all of that stuff off, man. So
Absolutely.
you want to kind of give us an idea of what you do as far as exposing beautiful men and women to the world, the masses?
Okay, as a chief media operating officer, with beautiful men and women, there's many different programs and things that are being put across, and my job is to pretty much make sure that the message is clear and we reach our target audience. So, my day-to-day task consists of, just connecting with the people that come to the events, making sure they have their information, make sure our promotional material is up to par, and make sure it's all connected, We have different things that we use, like Facebook, LinkedIn, and a couple other things. We have a newsletter that we send out pretty much monthly to make sure that the people are in tune with the programs as they come along, and we reach the right people. Like with the pros, approaching pros, we want to make sure that we're reaching business professionals, and then with the bricks, we're also making sure that we connect with the right proper individuals, the males and the mothers and stuff like that.
So you the guy I need to be yelling at right now. Where my newsletter at?
Absolutely. What's
Yeah.
your email?
That is my email.
Plug you in, bro.
That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look.
Ted is actually doing a book. Actually, it's out already. You want to talk a little bit about the book?
Yeah. The new book is called The Grand Masters. You can get it on Amazon.com, Kindle version. And basically, it's a follow-up to my first book, The Trail of the Serpent, which deals with how they put the Federal Reserve System together, why a lot of these wars were fought and are still being fought. It's a very good history piece, very compact, very straight, direct, easy read. So folks out there, don't be scared to pick it up. I don't have any $5 words. It's just straight talk, like two folks chopping it up on the corner. So pick it up, check it out.
That's the beauty of it. I think Ted and I, we talked earlier in the month or in the year actually when we had the Rick Ross on, and even in conjunction with the BRICS program, how this is a 30-year-old friendship that most people don't
31
have.
in the new year.
31?
In the new year.
All right. I was only 2 when we met, so I'm only
Bless.
32. But yeah, so it's a good piece, and I love the BRICS program. I love that brotherhood piece. I know that there's a lot of work going on. So you want to tell us a little something about the BRICS program, like when it started and whatever happened?
Okay, the BRICS program pretty much started in 2014.
Okay.
We've done a function a little while ago, which we had quite a bit of individuals that came out, a lot of support from other members that help us put the package together, and they gave a presentation pretty much about all the aspects of the BRICS. And the young men were pretty receptive to it and very acclimated with everything that was going on throughout the program. So it was a real good turnout. We started, kicking it. We had a little hip-hop session. The kids got a chance to dance, open up, and really get a feel for the venue. And then, that helped them relax a lot. So they were very receptive to the message, to all the men that was in the room. It was very, like, a good energy that was inside the room. So, every person could just feel like they could reach out to the next person, say hello, talk to them, which goes into another segment we actually had where everybody got a chance to, give each other a hug and tell them that you love them so they know they mean something. So that was great.
Wow.
So very positive.
That was the thing that stuck out in my mind was when Brett did that. And one of the kids commented and said like it felt good because he never had another man hug him. Wow. A lot of times we take the simplest things for granted that's known to us. And it could be something very simple as a hug, walking, tying your shoelaces, reading. We had Rick Ross on.
Right.
Talked about literacy.
Right.
And we kind of take it for granted because it's not our reality. But in a way it is because those people live within our environment. So
Right.
it affects the whole community.
Absolutely.
So we got to really start paying attention to a lot of small things that we take for granted. So that was interesting when Brett did that. That was very interesting.
Yeah. Actually, I got a phone call too that we should be bringing Mr. Scudder on.
Oh.
Yeah, very
Gonna grace
shortly.
us with his
So
presence.
yeah.
He's
So,
the man.
so tell us about a little more about Bricks. What's going on behind the scenes? I know you guys are about to, there's some stuff going on. So what's going on with that?
Well, I guess from an operations standpoint, because I'm all about operations, we have a director of social responsibility who was unable to make it today. His name is Harrison Green, but he's kind of heading it up with our advisory board, which I'm so excited about because it's just a group of super talented, awesome, dedicated men and women that we've selected that really understand the mission and the heart of what it is that we're trying to do with our BRICS conference. And as you had mentioned before, we're really trying to reach out to young men, either men that have didn't finish their high school degree and are looking to finish school, or even men that have gotten caught up in foster care or criminal justice or things of that nature, or just men just looking for a mentor. Just being able to provide that service to the community is something that we're all really excited about.
Okay. Wow, that sounds really, really good.
So Bricks is very socially active.
Yes.
That's a great thing. We need it.
Yes, we do. We do. Actually, it was 2 days ago, I think I was speaking to a young brother who, when I go to Rikers Island to do motivational presentations, and he's out. And he bumps into me. I don't even remember his face. He bumps into me. He was like, "Hey, I know you." And I'm like, "Okay." So he pretty much just kind of shared with me like how that moved him inside. And now it's a challenge for him because he didn't forget that presentation, that conversation, that directness, and it was the release of the building bricks. But now he's trying to find things that actually match up to coincide with what he remembered. He didn't remember it all, but it was just basically, I remember this good stuff. So now I need to find things out here to match up with the good stuff, and then I know that I'm doing the right thing. So it was moving. It was actually moving.
A lot of times you just do things from a genuine place.
Yeah.
And then folks approach you. A lot of times you ain't remember what you did. You ain't remember the person.
Know what
And
you said.
You sitting there going, okay. And it's fresh in their mind, and
Right.
you did 1,000 things since then.
Right.
And it's just crazy, man. Sometimes it's even surreal.
Yeah.
But it's one of the greatest feelings
It is.
to know that somebody benefited from the services that Bricks provides and, programs as such. It's very, very gratifying. More of you folks out there should try that. Give back. Stop tearing these young folks down and get on board with the program. It's time to uplift each other, because once we're said and done, somebody got to carry the torch. So a lot of you folks need to let go and get out your own ways and let these young folks live up to their potential. Don't tear them down. Build them up so that the community could keep going forward.
That was my message too. There's a story. Can I tell a story? You guys mind if I tell a story real quick? There's two kids playing on the ice. So one friend goes through the ice, goes down. His friend looks around. There's nothing around. So he wants to save his friend. So he runs off the ice to like, where they have some trees. And he climbs the tree and he breaks off a big branch. And he drags the branch back to the ice, and he breaks the ice, sticks the branch down into the water. Finally, his friend grabs on to the branch, and he pulls him to safety. So the paramedics come. And they're like really amazed, like, how can this young kid, perform such a feat? And everyone is around, and they're like, son, how did you do it? What was going on? And, they're really, really amazed. And an old timer comes from the side. And he says, I know. And everybody turns to him and says, huh? He says, I know how the young man did it. And they were like, how'd he do it? He said, he was able to do it because there was no one around to tell him that he couldn't. And it was really, really, a really, really huge piece that you don't want to be the one telling someone that they can't do something. Don't be that block or that restraining forces. People talk about, haters, and I'm not going to go off into a tangent, but
But the crazy thing is, like I've dealt with different environments, and a lot of the issue today is because of the alphabets behind our name, we feel like we're better than, and we have the tendency to talk down to people that we feel that are less. But we have to understand something. We are servants. We're providing a service.
Absolutely.
And if these kids fail under our watch, then that's not a bad reflection on them.
Right.
That's
on us.
That's a very poor reflection on ourselves.
That's on us.
So a lot of folks need to really understand that,
Okay. So, Steve, you're from around the way.
Absolutely.
You're from Queens.
Queens, born
Queens
and
in the
raised.
house.
Hollis, Queens.
Hollis, Queens. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
We also know that you do some entrepreneurial stuff, that you know, a couple of businesses. You're very successful. And so the question that I want to pose to you is, you know what your talents are. And we've bumped into quite a few young men that are just as talented, dealing with technology, dealing with, graphics and art and so forth. So from the Bricks perspective,
Right.
what would you tell a young man with your talent how to, get into business? What does his process look like?
Okay, for a young man starting out to get into business, the first thing I would tell him is to make sure that he connects well with himself. Study, open your mind up to what you really want to do, and don't be afraid to reach out to other people, because everything really comes back to your resources and how you apply things. So the knowledge aspect of bricks is very important, because you have to make sure that not only are you learning, but you're also applying everything that you learn and utilizing your resources to the best of your ability. Because, for me, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for my support system growing up. And even though there weren't no Bricks program, now that there is a Bricks, it's more opportunity for a lot of young men to have that same support system. When you're going into business, you don't want to feel like you're alone. You want to, feel like you have somebody that you can reach out to that can connect with you and to keep you, on the right path, keep you confident. And, those things really help, a person succeed in this world. Because outside of business, you have to have a regular life too. So, and you have a responsibility going into business to also be a support to somebody else under you in your community.
Wow. Okay. That's a good piece of information there. So before we continue on with our questioning, I know that we have to go to a commercial break. So we're going to let the sponsor. And
Gotta
we'll
pay
be
the
back
bills.
with you. That's it. Pay the bill.
Shannon Gates is the #1 fence provider on Long Island, with the most inventory in stock, including vinyl, chain link, and aluminum. Gates offers a custom powder-coated system that prevents rust throughout the life of the fence. We carry fence tools to the trade. We even stock wood, rail, and glass hardware as well. Shannon Gates has our very own patented locking system. The next time you need fencing of any sort, both commercial and private, give Shannon Gates a call at 631-392-4330. You can also visit our website at shannongatesinc.com.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-750 458-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only MadHouseTV.
You are the man.
Welcome back to the Brick segment of AAU Teen TV Talk. And we're sitting here with the beautiful men and women executive team, board members of it, Mr. Steve Manns and Ms. Dana Jackson. And of course, my
Your co-defendant.
my co-defendant, longtime main man, Mr. Teddy Portwine. So getting back into the bricks and this young people, because this is, it's really getting interesting to me, because I found out some inside information. And the inside information is that bricks is primarily for young men right now, ages 16 and, but you guys are working on a segment for the women, which I'm like totally impressed. So the information that I have is that bricks for young ladies would be beauty, relationships, integrity, character, knowledge, and synergy. That would be the acronym. And I think the beauty part is more of an inside-out process, talking about the self-esteem, self-revitalization, self-actualization, and things of that nature. And then the sisterhood is just kind of like the bonding piece. So Dana, I know that that you're working on that. And so you want to just tell us a little bit about it, and how is it really designed to help young women as you see it?
Sure. I think it's incredible, and it's supposed to kind of mirror what we've set up with Bricks for Men, with the exception of the changes in the acronym with the B for beauty and the S for sisterhood. And thinking of sisterhood just in general and the power of association, I know, to kind of piggyback off of what Steve was saying, I was very, very blessed growing up to have family members and to have my parents and to have people surrounding me that supported me and exposed me to pretty amazing opportunities growing up. And I think that's what able to afford me to work in corporate America when I was, a senior in high school and even all through college and through now. So thinking about awarding those or granting those opportunities to other women just because they're not aware, they just don't know. So to be able to be that avenue and that outlet, and for them to know they have people they can come to, that they can talk to, that cares and is interested in their development, it's super powerful and it's so needed.
Wow. Okay.
You know something?
What's
Both
up?
of them said something that's very key.
What's up?
Environment. The environment that you're in does affect the outcome of who you are a lot of times. So both of these young folks here raised a very supportive, very positive environments, and now they're doing the same for others. That's just another form of empowerment. So
Absolutely.
people really have to take the time to think about that. What it means. Like I said, a lot of things we take for granted. Like growing up in these environments are normal to us. But what about, we were just listening to producer Tommy talk about a kid, mom being on dope, and he's slapping her, telling her to wake him up. That's not his environment. Right. So we really have to really get out here and put our best foot forward and create this environment to empower the youth. And what they said is very important. And the work that they're doing is tremendous. I've done bricks events with them and yourself as well. Class A all the way. Very, very, I'm very proud of you guys. I'm very proud of you guys.
Well, just outside of even what you had mentioned with environment, just thinking about how we have the power to let people know that you can be self-aware and that you have power to change your situation regardless of,
Right.
some of your experiences in the past, and to leverage those experiences so they can shape you, and, you can be able to lead and develop someone else.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy because that was my last sermon that I gave.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't, just because you're here today, that doesn't mean that God want to do something in your life that'll put you in a totally different place the next day. So I was telling folks not to judge people by what you see today, because you never know
Right.
where they're going to be tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And they may be the person that has the answer to your problem. Like, you may be on top today. You could fall off tomorrow. And then that person's elevated, and they
Right.
have the answer to your problem. They have the solution to your problem.
Right.
So you got to be very careful about how you deal. Karma is, woo,
Yeah.
got cold again.
So with all that's going on today, you're hearing Black Lives Matter, young men, being, and it's been going on for a while. I'm watching a documentary yesterday from LA, the Bloods and the Crips, and they filmed the Watts riot and all of those things, and the Rodney King piece as well. And number one, there's always been a lot going on with African Americans.
Oh, no question.
And today there's a lot going on with African Americans, but it's centered in the youth, so to speak. I like to call it youthism because
But you know what?
I fit into that.
Nothing's really changed.
Right.
What's the youngest person in America to go to the electric chair? Wasn't that 14-year-old down south, George Stein?
Wow.
14 years old. Got accused of murdering two young ladies. The young man was 96 pounds. They said he lifted up one of those big metal things off the tracks and clubbed him over the head. The thing weighed more than he did. And his family just got vindication.
Wow.
Just last year, at the end of the year, they just got vindication. So, what I always say is we got to get rid of all these titles that separate us, because they was put there for a reason. Mm-hmm. We got to stop saying you're a Muslim, I'm a Christian, you a Jew, I'm this, you black, I'm white. You judge the person on their merits. And we can't allow this country to keep socially dehumanizing all of us to the point where we can't deal with each other on a human level. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me, really what your beliefs are, because we're both getting screwed by the same system. We can argue about that later, but right now, we need to take care of this. And I think a lot more people need to have that approach. Not that a lot of things that are out there aren't true, but if I provoke you to fight me now, we lose the bigger battle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I think we need to get rid of a lot of these titles, and we really need to just deal with the truth and see what it is. And, just because different cultures do different things, let's be real about it. We've always had war.
Right.
War is based on economics,
Yeah.
whether you want to believe it or not. There's always been forms of dehumanization.
Right.
We have the tendency to believe that black enslavement in America was the first. No, it wasn't. Actually, it was white people that was enslaved in Europe by their own.
By their own.
So we really have to really do our homework and get out of this box and this way of thinking. We got a bigger war on our hands, and that's what BRICS talks to in its own way. If there's a person out there that doesn't know how to do certain things and know that there's certain opportunities out there for them, what good are you? If you can't make them aware, if you can't lift your brother or sister up. And when I say brother or sister, I'm not talking about any race, color, creed. It could be anybody.
Right.
If you can't better them, better your situation, better your environment, better this world, what are you here for?
Okay.
All the other stuff is just intellectual masturbation. That's all that is. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Quick question. How does BRICS undergird or support the development of young men, because you're just dealing with young men right now, at a time like this?
Well, you got to lead by example. You know, you got to show them by your actions, basically. You know, a lot of the things that you need are already there. You know, in life, a lot of things are cynical. So, we're not the first to do anything. A lot of things have been done before. So, you know, the answers that you're looking for are out there. You really just have to open yourself up to them. And, you know, when you have that opportunity to, you know, get your questions answered or to shift things, why not take it? You know?
Okay.
And that's the thing.
All right. All right, we're going to run to another commercial break, and hopefully we have another piece with DMC doing his thing. You know, so
down with the king.
Down with the king. Holla.
Down with the king.
Holla.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
We're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the MadHouseTV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia, and it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you could follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
And we are back with another super series of AAU Teen Talk TV, the Building Bricks segment. And again, we have Steve Mans and Dana Jackson, along with my main man, Big Ted. And I'm trying to figure out where we left off, because you said something very, very deep during the break. I know where we left off. And so how am I going to do this? I want you to repeat that piece.
About the young lady?
No, about the hate and...
Yeah, it was a young lady who said that.
Okay, and then I want, if I can orchestrate this, if I can quarterback this piece pretty good, right? I want to bring Dana in after that and see how this whole vision or idea of the bricks is kind of undergirding or filling the gap, so to speak. So.
Yeah, well, the young lady basically said that black people was taught to mistrust and white people was taught to hate. Basically, she was saying that's the fabric of this American way of life. You know, just to touch a little bit before Dana comes in, what I see is in the sisterhood and the brotherhood. Once you have that understanding and that bond, you tear down all that other stuff. You know, because we have to look at humans Are there bad people in the world? Yes. Are there bad people of all races? Yes. Were there thousands and millions of atrocities? Yes. From everybody, not just us. So the brotherhood and the sisterhood kind of tears down all of that because you're working towards a common goal together, which is what more of us need to do, regardless of race, class, status. Because at the end of the day, we don't own anything. We don't own anything. And, sad to say, just a few weeks ago, a very close friend of ours, Anthony Mason.
Yeah, I heard about Anthony.
He's still in a coma right now in the hospital.
Right.
Heart attack, fourth procedure, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So, it was strange because one of the neighborhood guys told me something one day. He said, I used to be on top of the world, now I'm just walking on it. So you got to be very mindful. Time is very short. And while we're arguing about all the stupid stuff, the world just keeps on spinning.
Right.
The people who are working against us don't sleep. We can't see past 5 minutes. They planned this 1,400 years ago. So their plan was for 1,400 years in advance. So they already know what you're going to do because I dictate everything you do.
Right.
So with the sisterhood, the brotherhood, that's how you tear that down. Because everybody's working towards the same common goal, which is empowerment and bettering yourself so that you can do something meaningful with your life.
Right.
Not enough of us think about our legacies. That's something that a lot of us don't think about. We think that our sneakers and our cars and
right.
our jewelry or, whatever the case may be, that's what makes us. No. What are you going to leave here for the next generation so that they can have a better chance of winning than you did? How are you going to take it to the next level?
Right.
So I'll just leave it there.
Bricks is deep.
Bricks is where it's at, man. Bricks is where it's at.
Deep.
You better get on board. Bricks is where it's at.
I guess to tie that back in to what he was saying, it goes back to that whole power that we have in just being self-aware and that we have the power to change our situation if we do so. But unfortunately, most people don't know what they don't know. And we walk around with the notion that ignorance is bliss, but yet the excuses aren't held against us in regards to that. So again, organizations like this, I think, will help to expose our youth and our men and women to a different way of thinking, just exposing them to other opportunities, to other men and women that can provide a different perspective or a different paradigm to shape the way that they live and create new experiences for them that they might not have been able to experience had they lived in that ignorance is bliss bubble.
Okay. All right. Now, here's a good piece, right? The relationship in Bricks isn't really talking about dealing with the man, or I guess it in the same thing, in the same sense for the women, because that's taken care of with brotherhood and sisterhood. But the relationship piece is how to interact with women free from the domestic violence piece or whatever. So, Steve, I'm thinking, like, how is it that, really describe, like, what's going on and what you see today with the young men and women relationship, and then how the Bricks is looking to affect that?
Well, I think it goes back to pretty much what Dana was saying about being responsible. You can't run away from your responsibility. You have to be accountable for your own actions in the relationship. So as one part of the relationship, if you're not doing your part, you can't expect the other person to, and you can't expect it to work if nobody's looking to meet somewhere in the middle, So I just think a lot of people need to, really look at their situations and determine whether they really want to be there or not. And that will in turn determine how much they put, of course, in action, How much are you willing to change? How much are you willing to do for the relationship for it to work, to not only just better yourself, but better your partner,
Wow. I'll say this, not so much on an intimate level, but we got to understand that we're fighting the war. And when we both go out the door at the end of the day, we're both getting bruised, we're both getting hurt. We come back home wounded, but we have each other.
Right.
It doesn't have to be your wife or your significant other. It could be a female friend. It could be a male friend that you call, that you can confide in, somebody that you trust. you know. So, you know, the relationship is very important all around the board. And then it's the community.
Right.
Because I'm not looking at Dana, okay, you know, this is my lady or whatever. This is my sister. She's calling me with an issue that she has. And if it's just me listening or consoling her or giving her that word that lifts her spirits and, you know, helps her get rejuvenated, that's what it's about at the end of the day. But both sides get scarred, and we both have our issues. And we both have to acknowledge those issues, you know, and really deal with it. And you really can't be in a relationship until you deal with your own stuff, you know what I mean?
Right. The relationship with you.
You know what I mean?
And you got to have a good relationship with you.
Because it will be once flown over the cuckoo's nest after a while, you know
Right.
You be sitting there like, what did I wake up to this morning? So you got to deal with your own personal stuff. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's you know, relationships are key. My mentor always talked about it's all about relationships. You know what I mean? He used to tell me all the time, it's all about relationships. And then, you know, going into business and you know, getting involved with different things, and even with a lot of the guests that we bring in, we have relationships with these individuals that, you know, we know who they are, they know who we are. We can, you know, we don't have to really script them. We can trust what they say. Right. It's a huge piece, man. And, you know, again, thank you, Tony G. Life is all about relationships.
Man, it's crazy because that's a very profound statement because it's broad.
Right.
You know, when you go to do business, you want to know that you're not going to get screwed at the end of the day. You go get your hair cut, you want to sit down and be confident. The dude ain't going, well, you know, my hairline is always right. But, you know, for brothers out there with hair, you don't want to get your wig pushed back, as we say. You know, even with the women, you know, you don't want to go somewhere and then you looking crazy.
Right.
You know, so, you know, relationships all across the board, trust, you know. So, you know, Bricks, can't say it enough. Everybody out there listening, you need to get on board. This is what's happening right here.
Well, not just relationships. I also think in terms of character, how they almost work together. And when we think of our acronym for BRICS, I mean, both of those letters
they go hand in
represented
hand.
in there. And I had a mentor that always says, so whenever I think of character, I always think of the analogy that he gave of the Statue of Liberty. And you see it out there, it's standing, it doesn't matter whether it's raining or snowing, her position doesn't change, she's still holding that torch. And I think that's how we have to be as individuals if we're trying to maintain integrity and character, not wavering in different situations. So you can build those relationships filled with trust.
Wow. I mean, I just got one. You remember the day we was with Bruce? And I told him I would walk away from you on principle before money.
Absolutely.
People don't understand that.
Yeah. They don't.
I would walk away. I'll leave the money on the table.
Forget the money, right.
Principle alone. Yeah, I can't mess with you. I'm gone, man.
The money will do you no good.
Yeah,
it'll do you no good.
Take that.
Compromising your principles. I don't know. It just, it takes away from you. It bites at you until there's nothing left. Yeah. You know, then it's like, who are you? And what do you really stand for? You know, the money that comes and goes, that, you know. I had a friend of mine who was actually teaching a course, and he used to tell us that money is the tool, not the goal. You know, you can always find something purposeful to do with the money that makes a difference. You know, and it's about making a difference. You know?
Yeah, even like Rick Ross told us when he was here. He said, when I took money out of the equation, I'm able to see a little clearer now.
Absolutely.
And this guy's making $3 million.
$3 million a day. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It gets no bigger than that.
No, Rick. You know, like, come on.
You know, when he said that, I almost flipped off the couch. Like, hold on, Rick. You sure?
And when I was looking at that documentary, I was actually looking to see him pop up somewhere, but he didn't. Yeah. So, and congratulations to him. So we're going to take another break. We're definitely going to do what we always do. We have a young lady here who we're going to bring on and just kind of kick it around and answer some questions. But before we do that, we're going to do these breaks.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Welcome back to another segment of Bricks. That's right, I hit you with the James. Yeah. Today we have another special guest, Cassandra Montalvo.
Yes.
I told you I was going to nail it.
Yes. Good job.
I graduated junior high school.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Cassandra. And it's always a pleasure to have a young person, or at least someone who's just a little younger than me, come on the show and kind of just be able to answer some questions that they wouldn't, normally ask. And it's more futuristic than it is, like, we all have problems, so, or situations, or challenges,
Definitely,
or whatever. So feel free. Anything you want to put on the table. First, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Cassandra Montalvo. I'm
nailed it.
20. I'm 25 years old. In school right now for photography. I am.
25?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wow.
I am. I'm 25.
God bless your mama. She gave you good genes.
Yeah.
I don't mean the ones you wear.
Wearing leggings. But I'm in school right now for photography, and I'm going to be graduating soon. But I'm getting more into production, so I'll probably be going back to school and learning more about that stuff.
Okay.
And that's it.
So is there something you want to know? Photography, it sounds like you're going to be getting like almost, well, I guess you can get a job. All photographers I know are independent.
Yeah, it's
so
I've been looking into jobs in photography, photographers owning galleries and stuff like that, and I feel like in the production field, there's a lot more jobs than in photography, and I like it more. I like production more. When I started photography, I had taken a television production class, and that's what got me into it, because my advisor told me, she was like, it would be, because now a lot of photography is getting into multimedia, and she was like, it would be good for me to learn like the different programs and to have like the experience working in a studio, and that's how I got here. I interned here at MadHouseTV, oh, wow. And that's how I got here. So.
Okay, I'm watching Steve, right? Because you're talking this production and the media thing, right? And Steve is sitting there. He's like, yeah. I got this. So, do you have any questions concerning the production, the media? I know Steve does some online. He has an online magazine and some different things. Dana can give you a little bit of insight about, running a business. Ted and I were just models.
Innocent bystanders. Call me when you're ready for the full-figure man.
Well, more like I understand like this show. I know it's a good it's good to like motivate people and to get like your stuff out there, and just how exactly would like being in production like help out more, I guess.
Well, production is always in demand. People are always looking to put new things across and new messages across, so they're always looking for creative minds and people that really have a passion for what they do. And I can see that you're passionate about what you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So that's a great start. As long as you keep that passion alive, you'll be able to take it to whatever level you want to take it to. That's pretty much on you. The option is yours.
Yeah, get into that, because a lot of tax breaks are coming back to New York. And a lot of folks are leaving California, coming back east because of Made in New York, which is in the mayor's office. So you're getting a lot of tax breaks here. So a lot of films coming back to New York. So I would highly suggest it. And call up Steiner Studio. Just don't tell them I sent you. But call them up and they'll give you a tour. The stage manager's name, vice president stage manager, is Andrew Goodman. Okay. Shoot Boardwalk Empire there. We did Damages. VH1 Storytelling. Oh, wow. Clash of the Choirs. Okay. We shoot all the Macy stuff out of there. On any given day, you can see anybody from Michael K. White to Glenn Close walking by.
Wow.
In the hallway, Ted dancing. It's crazy up there. I enjoyed my 6 years there. I had a ball.
Was Cassandra here when Jeanette came on?
I think that was her first day here.
Okay, but what's the other brother we're bringing on? So.
Justice Smith, the director.
Right.
He works closely. He and Jeanette, they breathe together.
Really?
The clips that we showed her breathe.
Right. Okay.
So I spoke to him the day before yesterday, and we're trying to lock the dates down. But he would be more than delighted to assist you. And he probably would even bring you to set. He's just that kind of guy.
And we're not trying to steal you from MadHouseTV, so we don't want MadHouseTV to be upset with us.
Yeah, allegedly.
Right. Allegedly, right. So what we'll do is we'll introduce you to the people and wait. Right.
Dividing us with that stuff again. There you go.
Oh, boy. So, have you ever thought about opening or starting your own business as far as photography is concerned?
I thought about it. I did.
What do you think?
And I don't, with photography, I honestly don't feel as passionate about it as I was before when I first started. And myself, once I'm into something, I'm really into it. Okay. And I don't feel that way anymore about photography. That's why I'm leaning more towards production, because that's what I really enjoy it a lot. I do.
Okay. But you know what? Photography is an aspect of production because you shoot stills of spot locations. Mm-hmm. So don't limit yourself either.
Right.
Yeah.
Gordon Parks did both, and he's world renowned for that.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So any other questions? Life in general? Anything? Anything for the team? We're just honored to have
No,
you.
you guys like covered it all. I was enjoying it over there. I was like,
That's good. That's good. We before we cut out, and we're going to give each and everyone a chance to kind of close out and add their own piece. Getting in touch with the Building Bricks program again it is a segment of or the program developed by beautiful men and women. They can be contacted through their website at www.beautifulmenandwomen, spelled all the way out, .com. I think Bricks Steve has the Facebook page, so you can find Building Bricks. What is that? Men's Leadership Conference on Facebook.
BBM.
Okay, I know Beautiful Men and Women Inc. is on Facebook, and then you have BM&W, Diamond Life Entertainment, which is on Facebook. A lot of Facebook going on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so guys, I'm just going to kind of let you bring it back around before we close out. Wonderful show. We want to thank you for coming out. So, you know, anything you want to say, Steve, take it away, man.
Okay. I just want to leave a message for you young men out there. Just continue to stay positive. Don't be afraid to reach outside of your element. You know, don't stay too long in your comfort zone. That'll just limit you. Beautiful Men and Women is here if you're looking to get into business and you need a little professional or personal development. With Building Bricks, you know, the conference, if you need any help or you're looking for somebody to talk to, you know, feel free to look us up, reach out to us, and we'll be sure to get back to you.
And how can they get in contact with you?
You can reach me specifically at my website, which is brandtheceo.com, or you could look me up on Facebook or Instagram or any social media outlet at CEO Swift.
And tell us about the online magazine and stuff you got going on, please.
Okay. On the business end, I have the Black Radio Collection Company pushing out my first publication. It's called Sartorial Men's Magazine. It's really pretty much a magazine that's reshaping how we look at things. You know, generations have changed. There's been a shift in many forms, from economics to, you know, what we read. And like I like to bring up something that's very touching to me, like pretty much a lot of the guys that I grew up with, we all wanted to be athletes. And then there was a shift, which most of those athletes
for a lot of them.
wanted to be rappers. And then, you know, now most of these rappers want to be CEOs with the likes of the Jay-Z's, you know, the P. Diddy's and stuff like that. With those influences, a lot of people are expanding their mind a lot more. So they're looking into business. You know, they're looking to elevate themselves and be more acclimated in the community outside of what they do.
Beautiful. Okay. Dana?
Just to kind of piggyback off of something that you had mentioned, which I think kind of ties into everything, was passion, and how passion is so important, and that genuine love for something, it's infectious. So when you find, and that's the beauty of interning and kind of figuring yourself out when you're young, because you can kind of figure out what that passion is, but when you do find it and you find your niche, hone to it, because that's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you marketable, and that kind of applies for all of us, and that's why we do what we do, because we're so passionate about it, and it's not for accolades or for any other reason other than just that gratification that we get from helping somebody else. So yeah, that's what I got for me.
Paying it forward.
thank you for having me.
She hit you with the Russell Simmons. God bless and good night. Thank you for coming out.
Big Ted?
I just want to thank Roger and Shavonna Johnson from the Whitney E. Johnson Foundation for sponsoring the show and giving us this opportunity to bring a lot of stuff that we do and our guests to the forefront, because there's a lot of folks out here that don't necessarily get the notoriety that they deserve for what they do. And it kind of makes it seem like we're not doing anything. You know, people are judged by what they can feel and touch. You know, so environment once again. So I just want to thank Shavonna and Roger for this opportunity. You know, class act.
No doubt.
You know, you have other folks that might want to control you, but she's just giving us free reign in the creative aspect and all of that. You can't put a price on that at the end of the day. When you try to pigeonhole a creative person, they shut down on you.
Right.
Creative people got to have freedom.
Right.
You know, so I just thank them for that, both of them.
Beautiful. Dana, you You have any type of information, Facebook or?
Yeah, I know they want to get in touch with you. You better give. Where's them digits at? You better give it up.
BeautifulMenAndWomen.com. That's that.
Give us them digits. Ain't no rings on the screen. You better get them digits up. You better get them up.
No distraction to the executive.
Hook it up. Hey, fellas.
All right.
He's calling me out. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook as Dana Jackson. Also, coachingpros.com. So excited about. I'm one of the pros, so it would be awesome to have you guys join in if you have any questions.
And keep it business, because you might get the business.
We want to thank you guys for joining us today. We've had a marvelous time with our guests and surprise guests. And again, we thank our sponsors, Roger and Shavonna Johnson, for the opportunity. Yes. Building Bricks Men's Leadership Conference, soon to be just Building Bricks Leadership Conference for men and women, and parents and caregivers.
Say that fast 3 times.
I can't. But just another segment done, and we appreciate it. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Help us grow.
Oh, and also Madhouse TV. They've been doing a wonderful job.
Madhouse is the bomb, and I'm still trying to figure out why they used the DMC segment as opposed to the one that I gave them.
Well, it was Run. If you keep calling
it was
Run DMC, he's going to get upset with you.
I thought that was D.
Did you say it was Reverend Run?
That was Run. That was D. Which one was it? That was Darryl.
Oh, that was Darryl
That was D. Back in the day.
Excuse me.
198 in Linden.
Excuse me. Don't
40 ounce.
Don't take my.
You have to be from around the way to know what we're talking about.
That
40.
That was 26 years ago of ignorance.
My man Darren.
Excuse us.
My man Darren posted a picture of Pop and Kim, the T-shirt. I was like, ooh, wow, that was beautiful.
But you know something?
What?
This is one thing. You just reminded me of something.
What?
Those guys was all accessible. We used to be hanging out with Running them.
Absolutely.
Mike Tyson would come to the neighborhood, and we just hung out. All you other guys, get off that crap.
All right.
30 bodyguards. Get out of here.
Enjoy. Thank you very much. We love you. We'll see you next month.